Let us do a few more problems before we wind up this topic. Let's look at this example. See, this is the kind of examples you normally encounter in university examination, and many a time it may be just formulation of the problem, and in rare cases you may have graphical method to solve. And sometimes you may have both formulation as well as to solve that using graphical method. So let's look at this example. A firm makes two products X and Y and has a total production capacity of 9 tons per day. Both X and Y require same production capacity. The firm has a permanent contract to supply at least 2 tons of X and at least 3 tons of Y per day to another company. Each ton of X requires 20 machine hours of production time. Each ton of Y requires 50 machine hours production time. The total maximum hours available is 360. All the firm's output can be sold. The profit that can be made by selling X is 80 rupees and by selling Y is 120 rupees. Formulate this problem as an LP model and solve it by using graphical method to determine the production schedule that yields the maximum profit. So once we are given a problem, we need to know what we need to do. So since they have given here the profit that can be made by selling each of the products, the firm makes two products X and Y. If you sell X, you make 80 per ton. If you sell Y, you get 120 per ton. So therefore, what we need to decide how many tons of X to make and how many tons of Y to make. How many tons of X to produce, how many tons of Y to produce. So therefore, we have made this maximize total profit Z equal to 80 X1 plus 120 X2. X1 is how many tons of the product X, and X2 is how many tons of the product Y to be manufactured. So this X1 and X2 are called as decision variables. So this is a decision variable and this is the objective function. To maximize this function Z equal to 80 X1 plus 120 X2, we have certain constraint. What is the constraint? X1 plus X2 less than 9. This is a production capacity. Where is it in the formula? Where is in the form in this problem? Here it is there in the line where what's the total that can be manufactured. Look at this first line itself. A firm makes two products X and Y and has a total production capacity of 9 tons. That means I can make X and Y any number of tons, but maximum is 9 tons. That's why we said X1 is how many of X to make and X2 is how many of Y to make. Together you can make maximum in a day 9 tons. X1 plus X2 less than 9. And there is also constraint. You can make only at least 2 tons of X. At least means what? 2 or more. Therefore we have put X1 greater than equal to 2. And the firm has to make at least 3 tons of Y. Means what? X2 greater than equal to 3. So therefore when we encounter the word at least, whenever you encounter the word at least, then the correct symbol is greater than equal to. So that means at least means what? At least 2 means what? 2 or more. There is another wording which comes in most of the problems, that is at most. At most 2 means what? 2 or less than 2. Therefore the correct symbol is less than equal to. So this I think you need to keep it in your memory. Okay. So wordings in a problem can be at least or at most. At least 2 means what? 2 or more. At most 2 means 2 or less. Okay. That is we have got there X2, X1 greater than 2 and X2 greater than 3. This is regarding supply. And the other is to make X, I require how many hours? To make the maximum possible machine hours is 360. Okay, and then they have mentioned each ton of X requires 20 machine hours and each of Y requires 50 machine hours. To make X, 20 hours are required. To make Y, 50 hours are required. And therefore, this X and Y, the time to make X and Y is given, maximum time available also given. Therefore, to make X, how many hours? 20 hours. To make Y, 50 hours. 20 X1 plus 50 X2 maximum was is 360, 20x1 plus 5x2 less than or equal to 360. The last one is non-negativity constraint, x1 and x2 greater than 0. Now that we need to plot. Okay. Now for plot, what we require? What we require is to find x1 and x2 values. Let's say what do we do for this? x1 plus x2 is equal to 9 means what? x1 equal to 9, x2 equal to 9. Okay, so therefore here is 9, x1 equal to 9 and x2 equal to 9. This is the line for the first line. Okay, let's look at the second line. x1 greater than 2. So what we do? x1 equal to 2, we are plotting here x1 equal to 2. Okay, x1 equal to 2. Okay, we have x2 equal to 3. x2 equal to 3 is this. x2 is equal to 3. This is the third line. x2 is equal to 3. x1 equal to 2 is this line. Okay, then we have this equation 20x1 plus 50x2 is equal to 360. Okay, so if x2 is 0, it becomes 20x1 equal to 360 or x1 equal to 18. Okay, x1 is 18 here. If x1 is 0, then 360 divided by 50. Okay, 360 divided by 50 is 36 divided by 50, 7.5. Okay, so this is here. Okay, so therefore this line, whatever we have, this is the last line, fourth line. So now we have first line, which is this line 9 and 9. Then you have x2, x1 equal to 2. Then we have x3, x2 is equal to 3, and the last line. So once we have plotted, we need to know the constraint. Let's see the constraint. x1 plus x2 greater than 9. x1 plus x2 greater than 9 means this line. Okay, x1 plus x2 greater than 9 or less than 9? Less than 9. x1 plus x2 less than 9. This is x1 x1 plus x2 is equal to 9, this line, less than means below this line. So this is our line here, this is x1 plus x2 is equal to 9, less than means below the line. Then we have got x2 is equal to 3, but what we have got? We have got, what is the constraint? x1 greater than 2, okay. x1 equal to 2 is this, x1 less than 2 is towards the origin. What we want? x1 greater than 2 to this side. So therefore the solution space is to the right of this particular constraint. Then we have got x2 greater than 3. Okay, x2 equal to 3 is this. This is x2 equal to 3. Greater than 3 is above this line. So therefore solution space is above this line. Okay. Last line is the fourth constraint, 20x1 plus 50x2. That we have plotted here. Okay. And what's the constraint? Constraint is less than. It is less than. So what we do? This is the last constraint. That last yes. So this is the last line. Less than means below the line. So therefore solution space is below. So therefore, where is the solution space? Above the second constraint. To the right of second constraint. Above the third constraint. I have shown it by an arrow over here. Then first constraint, it is to the left of it because it's less than. The last line, this is my last line. And what is the constraint? Less than. So that means below this line. Okay. So below this fourth line. So therefore solution space is below. To the right of this, to the top of this, below this. So we have got the space demarked like this. And therefore we can identify the coordinates and substitute in the equation 80x1 plus 120x2. We will get these values of A, B, C, D. So how do we read off? This is 2, 3 and B is 2, 6.4. This you have to read it from an actual graph sheet that you draw. And 3 and 6 is the coordinate for 3, 6 and this is 6, 3. This you have to read it from the graph. And then we get the, when we get the coordinates of the feasible space, corner points of the feasible space, substitute in the relevant equation, then we find that maximum value of z is 960. That is when x1 is 3 and x2 is 6. That's what x1 is 3 tons of product X and x2 is 6 tons of product Y, to make a profit of how much? 960. How do we get 960? 18 into 3 is 240 plus 120 into 6. Okay, 120 into 6. This is 720 plus 240. That is total is 960. Okay, so therefore this is a typical exam kind of problem, and therefore your procedure should be, once you see any problem, then we need to identify decision variable. What I need to decide? Here I need to decide how many of how many tons of x2 produce and y2 produce. That's our decision variable. Okay. Once we know that, we need to know what do we do, deciding x and y for what? For maximizing profit. So therefore we have drawn up an equation for profit, and we want to maximize it. Maximize what? Total profit. That's equal to z equal to 80x1 plus 180. Then identify the constraints. Once you identify the constraints, make the equations equal to x1 plus x2. It was less than, we made it equal to, and we have drawn the lines. Once you have drawn the line, identify the solution space. Once you identify the solution space, identify the corner points. Here it is A, B, C and D. A, B, C and D. So once you identify the corner points, name the corner points, identify the coordinates. 2, 3, 6, 3, 3, 6, all this. Once you identify the coordinates, A is this coordinates, B is this, C is this, D is this. Those values of x1 and x2 you substitute in the objective function. 80x1 plus 120. 80 into 2 is 160. 120 into 3 is 360. 360 plus 160 is 520. Like that we have to identify the values. And if it is a maximize function, then identify the maximum out of this. If it is a minimization problem, identify the minimum out of this. Okay. Now this is other problem which we take up, and I am taking this problem basically to make you little familiar with the isoprofit line. Okay. So that isoprofit line in a previous session I did mention, and here we have got maximize z equal to 15x1 plus 10x2. Okay. And then we have got all the constraints. 4x1 plus 6x2 equal to 360. Put x1 equal to 0, it becomes 6x2 is equal to 360, or x2 is equal to 360 by 6. Okay, that is equal to 60. X2 is 60, this one. Then we have got 4x1 plus 6x2. 6x2 become, you keep it 0. It becomes 4x1 divided by 360, or 360 divided by 4. That is equal to 90. 60 and 90 we have drawn this line. Then 3x1 is equal to 180. Therefore x1 is equal to 180 by 360. It's second equation, second line. This is second. 5x2 is equal to 200. 5x2 is equal to 200. So therefore x2 is equal to 200 divided by 5 equal to 40. And therefore that's the third. This one. So this is third, this is second, and this is the first. What are the constraints? Less than 360. So therefore whatever is this line, first line, the solution is below that line. Okay, solution is below that line. This is equal to, less than is below this line. Okay. Then we have got 3x1 less than 180. So we found out x1 is equal to 180 divided by 3, or 60. This is x1 equal to 60. Okay. x1 equal to 360. This is x1 equal to 360. Less than 60 means towards the left of this, towards the left of this portion. Next, 5x2 is equal to 200. So therefore x2 is equal to 200 by 5, or equal to 40. This is 5x2 is equal to 200. Less than that is below this line. So therefore we have identified the solution space, and we have named the corner points A, B, C and D. We have named the coordinates like that. And we can go ahead with the same thing like what we did. We can identify the coordinate points, their coordinates, find z values. That's one way of identifying the corner point where the solution is maximum. Now, in this example, let us use ISO profit line. Okay. So that ISO profit line, for that drawing ISO profit line, let us take that maximize Z equal to 15x1 plus 10x2. I said for drawing the ISO profit line, we can assume a certain value of Z. Let us take a multiple of, let's say that we are looking at, let's say Z equal to 150. Okay, assume Z equal to 150 or make it equal to 300. Any multiple of these. Okay, maximize Z equal to, that the equation we have taken, assume Z equal to 300 for example. If that is the case, then what is the equation? Our equation becomes 300 is equal to 15x1 plus 10x2. Okay, or 15x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 300. That's our equation. Put x1 equal to 0. Okay, put x1 equal to 0. Then 10x2 is equal to 300 and x2 is equal to 300 by 10 equal to 30. Similarly, you put x2 is equal to 0. When x2 is equal to 0, 10x2 becomes 0. Therefore, it becomes 15x1 equal to 300. Therefore, x1 is 300 divided by 15 equal to 20. So, what are the values for x1 is 20 and x2 is 30. Okay, x1 is 20 and x2 is 30. That's what we have drawn here. x1 20 and x2 is 30. This is a dotted line we have drawn. This is an ISO profit line. What's the meaning of ISO profit line? Equal profit line. What's the meaning of that is all along the line, starting from here to here, the profit that you get is 300. Okay. So along this line, profit that you get is 600 and so on. So what we do is, in the ISO profit line method of finding the maximize function or minimize function, I have drawn here Z equal to 300. This line, I will go on drawing parallel lines to this, such that the parallel line just crosses over from the solution space. So here, this line is very within the solution space, still some solution space is there. Here still solution space is there. Look at this point. This dotted line, this particular dotted line is a line which just passes out, okay, before it moves out of the solution space. This value, whatever is at the tangent here, okay, so I have drawn this line 300. I go on drawing parallel lines till such time that that line passes away from the solution space, this point. That point, our line is here. That line's coordinates we take. What is the coordinates of this line? We take. Okay. That coordinate will identify the maximize this one and what is the value of Z. Okay, we can go on drawing. Okay, let us identify that the line where we have got passing through is Z equal to 1050. Okay. So therefore, Z is 1050. Okay. We have shown that there 1050. 15x1 plus 10x2 is equal to 1050. Therefore, put x1 equal to 0. 10x2 is equal to 1050. Therefore, x2 is 1050 divided by 10 equal to 105. Okay. Similarly, put x2 is equal to 0. x2 is equal to 0. This is becomes 15x1 equal to 1050. Therefore, x1 is equal to 1050 by 15. Okay. So this is equal to 1110. I think 70, not 111, 70. 15 7s are 105, 70. Okay, so therefore, what are the coordinates of x1? x1 is 70. Okay, and x2 is, for this dotted line, 105. That line just crosses over. So wherever it crosses over, then we know what is the maximum profit. Here is this place where the profit is maximized. Okay. Now what's our conventional way? Conventional way is see the coordinates A, B, C and D. Once we have done that, then we find out what's the profit at A, what's the profit at B, what's the profit at C and D. Now let us adopt that method and verify that profit is 1050 where it is maximum, or we want to know where the profit is maximized, whether it's A, B, C and D. So what we have done, we have drawn an isoprofit line. We go on drawing parallel lines like this. Wherever the line just passes away from the solution space, this point, this is where the profit is maximized. So therefore isoprofit line method has identified B as the place where profit is maximized. So therefore let's look at the points. What are the coordinates of A? 60, 0. 60x1 and x2 is 0. Second is 60, 20. Second point is B. Third point is C. It is 30, 40. And the last one is 0, 40. Okay. This is point number D. Okay. So these are the coordinates of A, B, C, D, which are the corner points of our solution space. Let us write the maximize function. What's the maximize function? Maximize z equal to 15x1 plus 10x2. Okay, so that's our maximization function. So let us find out the value at z value at A. 15 into x1 is 60 plus 10 into 0. This is equal to 15, 6 is 90, 900. Profit at A is 900. Okay. Let us look at B. Okay. It is 15 into x1 is 60. Okay. Plus 10 into 20. So therefore 15 into 60 is 900. Plus 200, 1100. Let us look at C. 15 into 30 plus 10 into 40. 15 into 30 is 450 plus 400, 850. Let us look at D. 15 into 0 plus 10 into x2 is 40. Okay, 0 plus 400, 400. So out of this 900, the 1100, 850 and 400, this is where the profit is maximized at point B. Okay, point B, the profit is maximized. What is Z max? Z max equal to 1100. What is x1? x1 is 60 and x2 is 20. Okay, this is the solution. So our conventional method found out where the profit is maximized at point B. Let us look at this point. Here also the isoprofit line, when we have drawn isoprofit line and drawn parallel lines like that, the line just passed away from this at point B. So what the isoprofit line is saying? It's saying profit will be maximized at this place whose coordinates are 60, 20. That is what our conventional method also is telling. And therefore this profit maximization problems or any graphical method problem, we can try to identify. So we have got coordinate points A, B, C, D. I don't know where the profit is maximized, whether at A, B, C or D. So our isoprofit line gives a clue. Okay, so when we have drawn the isoprofit line, and we go on drawing parallel lines. We identify the isoprofit line. Extreme point at which it touches the feasible space is B, and therefore B is where the profit is maximized. Look at the coordinates of that, and substitute here. B is 60/20 and profit is 1100, and therefore the primary reason for doing this particular problem was to show you the feasible solution, how we can, in this feasible solution, how we can identify the maximizing point and all that. We have a number of examples, and those PPT will be shared with you. You kindly go through those solved examples, and tomorrow I will be sending unsolved examples. Kindly solve it and submit it by the last date for submission.